Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey chapter 369. It is the last day of the week, aka the Big Bang Attack workout. I am feeling pretty good right now, very excited for this workout. But anyways, to the main subject matter for today, which is kind of a twofer. The Disney Adult and the Disney Rash. So the main reason why I want to discuss this is because recently there has been a trend of something called the Disney Rash. Now, what is the Disney Rash? The Disney Rash is a rash that comes out on a lot of people, particularly bigger people, that are in walking around Disney World and are having issues with basically just a giant red rash that comes out of nowhere for them. It is a phenomena that keeps happening. Now, what is exactly this phenomena? Well, apparently it's basically their body kind of shutting down and eating itself because it just doesn't know what the fuck to do because they're doing so much physical exercise in comparison to what they do normally that their body is literally eating itself. So that's how the Disney Rash comes about. And this is a very interesting thing because this is almost like a microcosm of a larger thing when it comes to people that are Disney adults. And we're going to be talking about that. And I'll preface this before I start with the entire Disney adult thing. If you have a kid, if you have any child under the age of 18 and or are probably mentally ill, you get a pass on the Disney, being obsessed or going to Disney and stuff like that. You get a pass. It's understandable. You have a kid. It's very understandable. Very understandable. Or mental illness. It's understandable. If you are not in either of those categories and you are obsessed with Disney, what is wrong with you? And I mean this from a person who likes stuff. I'm not going to say I don't like things, although I'm not a big fan of people who say, let people enjoy things, because I don't believe in that. See this video right here about that. But it's something that is very telling about a person if they are a Disney adult, basically. You're very much... how do I say this? There's like only two types of people that are like that afterwards, and we'll get to those later. But I'll say this: if you are a Disney adult, why? And why are you fat? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to know. But it's a very interesting dichotomy and also just thing to be, you know, looking at it from the outside perspective, that I would never understand it. Now, of course, there are people who like to go to amusement parks. I'm not shitting on the amusement park, but it's particularly Disney that has a stranglehold on people. And we'll explore that and the two types of people that I'm talking about when we get to Mother Base. Alright, so started this day off with single arm lat pull down, which was pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter. The Disney adult and the Disney rash. So the main reason why I wanted to discuss this is because this came up as something that was a phenomenon. And also as well, I recently went on to a vacation in Orlando. I did not go to Disney World, but I did go to Universal. So that's for a different story for a different day. But for now, I wanted to talk about this in twofold. Because one, I wanted to discuss the Disney adult first, which unfortunately is more prevalent as time progresses. It seems as though Disney, although prevalent with a bunch of children still, it's still popular. I don't think that crowd still likes it. I don't think that that's gone away or going away anytime soon. It seems as though there are a lot of adults that end up getting into Disney to the point where it's become their own type of stereotyped character. You know, they're a bigger version of, or just a bigger person in general, fat, if you will. They are generally unhealthy and or have childlike antics, you know, super into everything that is collectible, that is Disney. Does not matter what it is, but it's more so the fact that it is of Disney, as well as those who continuously go to the parks that are around the parks. That I have a little less issue with per se, but then they have their own things inside of there. They love to give their money to the conglomerate that is Disney. Now, of course, in essence, good and evil wives, there's nothing wrong with this. This is something that people do. They are just super into it. It's like I'm super into the gym. I could be called a meathead. It happens. But I think that a lot of the times that Disney adults fall into one of two categories. It's either people who never grew up, which
happens because something happened early in their life and then they never just decided to grow up, or life was just too hard early in their life that didn't really happen. Or those who grow up but realize that they don't like being a grown up, so they revert back into some type of childlike wonderment that Disney can kind of fulfill for them, because of course it's more of a family oriented thing. Now, the reason why I wanted to discuss these two is because when it comes to these two, you can really see like how these two influence these types of people, where it's a return to childhood, but from two different perspectives. One never left childhood because childhood was taken from them, which sucks. It's not like I'm saying that that's the regular. That's probably less often a common thing, but it does happen. And for those people, they truly have my sympathies, because there's nothing really that they can do unless they confront whatever demon happened to them in the past. But more often than not, it feels like nowadays, at least, that you have the Disney adult who is somebody who grew up and realized that the adulting or being an adult is not for them. And then they revert back to whatever childlike sensibilities that they once had. And Disney fulfills that. And it's quite a sad state of affairs, not because of what Disney represents or anything like that, but more so along the lines of that adulthood has become so fucked. And we know it is, to the point where people will literally just revert back to child in order to escape it some way or somehow. They will literally have their job, get into debt, do whatever they can just to keep reliving the memories over and over and over again of their childhood past and never really grow up. It seems as though many of the times it's ironic that the lessons of Peter Pan is completely lost on these types of people, but that's a different story for a different day. I think that this type of stuff, it's an escape from reality, which is just predicated on returning to what was the childlike innocence of the past. And it's a shitty thing to do, especially if you are knowledgeable of what is happening. So, for example, if you are an adult and you understand that it was better when you were a kid and you keep returning to this type of thing, you're never really going to get anywhere. Most of the time, people will, acknowledge this and probably see and understand that you aren't necessarily ready for the other parts of life, and thus you might not get as far as you can in adult life because of these types of things. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't happen to everybody. You can get farther, but still, there is a world where people will judge you and make fun of you and bully you for being a Disney adult. I think it just happens. Now, like I said, is it evil? No, I don't think it's evil, but I do think that facing the realities of the world is an important thing that a lot of people end up choosing not to do, and a lot of them happen to just be Disney adults. It doesn't have to only be that, but a lot of them is, and it's crazy the stranglehold that Disney itself has on certain people, as they will ride or die for Disney to the point where it is almost cult-like. It's crazy. In fact, the fact that even some people want their ashes spread in these places should tell you that something isn't necessarily right with some of these people. That alone is kind of a crazy idea. We would think that those types of ceremonies or those types of would be saved for religious backgrounds and or places that have some type of religious meaning, but yet Disney is getting these types of people. So that should tell you there's something there. And I think seeing the adolescent adult is something that people mostly are, I wouldn't say disgusted by, but I think the best way to use is disgusted by it. It's like you see them and they are quintessentially the man child or the woman child, the person that refuses to grow up, when in reality, these people also get to do other things like vote and all this other stuff, when it's like, great, good luck. The lacking of adult responsibilities and or adult seeingness of it makes it so that your opinion is lessened of the person. But that's one half of it. The other half of it that is very interesting is the Disney rash, because for some reason, a lot of these people end up becoming relatively big or fat. And because of that, they end up going to Disney World and then getting a rash. And then the rash itself is literally the body eating itself alive. And that is insane, because that's just a lesson to get better, get healthier. It's crazy to me that people will not do this for some reason or another, or at least take the signage that they are doing half the battle, because losing weight is literally eat less and move more. That's all you have to do. These people are already doing half of it, which is the move more part. All they have to literally do is eat less and they are already losing weight. You just disguise yourself via, Disney, and then there you go. You don't have to do too much or extra in order to lose the weight. I think that people stigmatize weight loss now, and that's kind of a different conversation, but these highly palatable foods that they sell at these places are there just to keep, I guess, people fat, because really, if you just didn't eat that, bring your own meal or do something along those lines, you're already doing half the battle. People struggle to move a lot, and at least finding an ideal or finding something that makes you move is already like a win in so many people's books, because a lot of people don't want to go to the gym and they don't want to go outside to go work out, right? So if you already have half of it where you're already moving a lot because of Disney, this should be the sign that says, hey, just eat less. That's all you have to do. And you've already started the ball rolling down. So then that way you can continue on and actually lose the weight. It's interesting to me for some reason that people don't make the connection or are willing to just continue on and ignore what's going on in their body, because for some reason they're just like, oh, it'll go away once I stop moving. Just try to get healthier and you'll probably enjoy Disney for a longer period of time because you can live longer.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed, none. Exercises skipped, also none. Got everything in, thankfully. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand. Disney adults and the Disney rash. So to go back a little bit, I guess I'll start with the Disney adults. If you're a Disney adult, understand you are going to be bullied. Understand that by other people. Why? Because it is something that you don't want to be. It's not a fun thing to be involved in. I think that other people from the outside are too, not necessarily chicken shit, but are definitely talking shit about you in behind your back. Honest to God, 100%. It is quite literally childish behavior, and most people don't enjoy it, and you will be severely bullied for it. Now, if you want to go do it, but understand the consequences of doing it. And I think that needs to be said, because you are literally a man child or a woman child, whatever the fuck you want to say. You're just a grown adult child, and these are the types of people that are making things worse in society. But that's a whole other subject for a whole other day. So you will be bullied. Congratulations. And for those who are Disney adults and are also dealing with the Disney rash, forget the first part. The second part is really your own body bullying yourself, and it's telling you, hey, motherfucker, lose weight and do something. This should be a wake-up call for you, and it isn't. And if it isn't, why is it not? Your body is shutting down. You are stupid. Go eat nothing. Just go do anything else. Keep the Disney stuff going. Just don't eat there. Bring a meal. I don't know how the parks work, but still, go get food somewhere where you can track the macros for it and put it in a macros calculator, and you will lose the weight if you just keep going there. Your body is already doing way more exercises by doing something, aka going to Disney Park and getting this fucking rash. Just do the less eating part, and you'll start winning. You'll stop having to deal with that. Then you'll just be a Disney adult. In which case, good luck. That's a different story. But for this one, this should be a wake-up call. Hello, I'm too fat that my body is starting to eat itself alive. Go eat less. Dieting is not hard. It's 90% here, 10% what you actually eat. 90% of it is up in the brain. Honest to God, if you can just do small incremental changes that will snowball into a better and more healthier eating habits, you can do it. But you have to be realistic with yourself, and unfortunately your body is being the most real that it can be with you if you're getting this fucking rash, saying, hey brother, I'm dying. So just fucking stop. go and get a better diet and continue the Disneying. And there you go. That's all you have to do. Jeez. I hope it's a wake-up call. But with that being said, though, tell me what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. This one's a little bit more aggressive, but sometimes you got to be aggressive in this world. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy. Stay safe out there. And stay cool. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.